Hello everyone and welcome back to our extra credit training series. My name is Brian Bean, founder of Mentor to Millions and the Extra Digit Movement. Now so far we are on video number 3, and before we close out this comprehensive training, we just want to make sure we tie up some loose ends and then give you an opportunity to make some money off everything that you've learned. So what was video number 1? Well, in video 1 we tackled the concept of income shifting. And the first thing that wealthy people do, which is typically start off in the highest tax bracket, which is a W-2, and pay the highest amount of taxes, anywhere from 28 to 33%. But they shift their income to the middle tax bracket, which is a 1099, and ultimately end up creating most of their wealth in the lowest tax bracket, which is investments. Because money doesn't sleep, money doesn't take a break, and money doesn't get sick. It works for you all the time. And wealthy people keep the fortune in their families because investments make the bulk of their income. Now, video 2 was a bloody, red mess. In video 2, we talked about the one thing that most people don't understand will rob you of your fortune as well. And that one word is interest. That's right. You see, if you're not careful and knowledgeable and understand the negative effects of interest, most Americans end up buried in a mountain of debt. You see, in summary, if the two wealthiest entities in the world, the government and the banks, typically got rich off of the people, the first step in getting wealthy is getting your money back from those who robbed you of your wealth. So all you need now is the understanding, the education, the software, the systems, the mentors to help you get wealthy off of your own money. Now, don't worry about the boards behind me. All we're going to do today is fill in the blanks. And in video 2, I promised you that the government will give you incentives to start a home-based business, and they will even pay for it. So now it's time to actually talk about that and prove it to you. You see, here's the trick to capitalism. Capitalism is part of the problem if you lack the knowledge and understanding. Capitalism is part of the solution once you understand the rules. See, most people in America are telling you to sell in order to make money. In Extra Digit, we tell you to learn in order to stop losing money. So here's the basic elementary understanding. The government gives business owners a huge benefit and tax break. They allow you to pay yourself first and pay the taxes last. Now, if you have a W-2 or a job, you have to pay your taxes first, and then you struggle on what's left over. But see what Congress did, they allowed the same principles to apply to a home-based business. So now, by having a home-based business alone, they figure if you ever lost your job, you could just ramp up your home-based business from part-time to full-time and keep the unemployment line from wrapping around the government buildings. So having a home-based business alone will save you anywhere from $300 to $500 a month. That's $3,000 to $6,000 a year back in your pocket just by having a home-based business. You see, it's not about what having a home-based business is going to cost you. It's about what not having a home-based business is already costing you. Experts say that if you do not have a home-based business, you're overpaying your taxes by about $100 a week. That's roughly $5,000 to $6,000 a year that you are giving away by not having a small home-based business. So what we'll do is I'll just prove it to you with basic numbers. You know, I always have a lot of broke friends who try to challenge me about the power of a home-based business. And what it really boils down to is just lack of understanding. And then because they have degrees, they try to get extra educated. Well, Brian, my CPA said, and Brian, my financial advisor said, and my mentor always taught me to look them right in the eye and say, listen, math said. So let's look at what math said using a real couple that's right here in the Extra Digit Movement. Let's take the average couple. For example, I live in Atlanta, Georgia. And this couple was actually a little bit above average. We're talking a $75,000 salary per year. So this couple made $75,000. They have 2 kids and they have nice careers. Now, if you take the taxes, we'll just use 33% to keep our numbers even. Let's just say roughly taxes are $25,000 of the $75,000. That means their take home is what? About $50,000 in take home. So we all know there's a big difference between what you gross salary and what you actually bring home or your net. So we'll play with round numbers and say that their monthly income was roughly $4,200 per month. We're talking about a couple again with 2 kids. Now let's just see how fast $4,200 a month can go out the window. Hard-working couple has a mortgage. Let's say the mortgage is roughly nothing big, not a big elaborate mansion, $1,400 per month on the mortgage. Every number I'm going to give you is ultra conservative. Now, let's say they each have a car. You got a husband and wife, both have to get back and forth to work. Not a big BMW, not a big Lexus, not a big Mercedes, not a big Lamborghini. We're going to spend $900 between the 2 cars and the car notes and the car insurance. So we're talking about roughly $450 a piece, all right, per month. Let's put gas in the cars conservatively, especially these days. Gas, $400 for both cars. So both cars do about $200 a month in gas. Now, the utilities at this house, the mortgage is about $1,400. We're going to say the utilities are $600 a month. So we got 2 cell phone bills, husband and wife. We'll add that into the utilities. Light bill, gas bill, water bill, cable bill, internet bills. We'll just say the utilities are roughly $600. Now, most middle, upper class individuals and families have a little debt. So we'll give them a little debt. Let's say $400. That's credit cards for both of them. That's any student loans for both of them. God forbid they had a second mortgage, but we'll just say they had a credit card and a student loan, husband and wife, $400. And don't forget, we haven't eaten yet. So let's give this family, they have 2 kids, but we'll just say $300 on groceries, not even eating out, but extra conservative, $300, 2 kids, husband and wife. We'll stop here and let's just do some math. Between the mortgage, the cars, the gas in the cars, the utilities, the debt, and the food, you have $200 left. That's $4,000. There's only $200 left out of the monthly take home for this family. This family has $200 left to travel. This family has $200 left for any recreation, sports, basketball, ballet, baseball, soccer, cheerleading for the children. This family has $200 left to try to invest. And I went ultra conservative on their lifestyle. Guys, it doesn't matter how much money they make for a living. 33% of their gross went out the window to taxes because they don't have a home-based business. So we wonder why Americans don't even have enough to retire, or they retire and end up coming out of retirement. It's because it's hard to think about investing when in this situation, you only have $200 a month extra. Now, God forbid a transmission go out. God forbid a compressor go out in the air conditioning unit. God forbid someone has a medical emergency. We haven't paid any medical bills yet. We haven't taken any vacations yet. We haven't done any recreational sports yet. We haven't done any investing yet. And there's a $200 per month budget or balance left for this family to budget. So we wonder why most middle-class Americans are in debt, because 9 times out of 10, they're going to have to run up a little bit more on the credit card because they don't have enough write-offs. The fact that they don't have a home-based business is hurting this family. And this is a real situation in our group and a real situation every day in America. So let's take this exact same family. Again, part of our extra digit movement, actually in the business, actually worked the strategy, went ahead and used the software, got the mentors and used the teaching. But they got into our home-based business model. They had the exact same salary, which is roughly $75K. This family had the exact same monthly income, which is $4,200. But now they have a home-based business. So what happens is a percentage of the mortgage, a percentage of the cars, a percentage of the gasoline, a percentage of the utilities, interest on certain debts, a percentage of your food, all of the things that were once basic expenses now become positive because they are deducted. Remember, this family jumped into our business and can now do what? Write off things that were once expenses. So let's just say after you add up everything during the year, their CPA said, you know what? You guys had about $20,000 in write-offs. Now the taxable income for this family is $55,000. See, because you get to subtract the $20,000 from the $75,000 because the government lets you pay yourself first instead of struggling on the end. They want you to stay in business, so they let you subtract your bills and deductions before they tax you. So now the taxable income for this family has become $55,000. Now tax the same 33%, which will give you about $18,150 as the tax bill. Now it used to be $25,000. So if the taxes were $25,000 as a W-2, now the taxes are $18,150 because they have a home-based business. You now pocket $6,850. That is just from owning the home-based business. So this is roughly $570 per month that you're able to put in your pocket because the home-based business allowed you to pay yourself first, not last. So here's what we do. Now we take the $570, and we go and attack the debt. So now this 570 pays the $400 a month off, bringing you an extra $970 in cash flow back into your house. So the 400 comes over here as a positive. $970 is now your positive cash flow because the debt is now zero because your tax deduction allows you to pay off your debt. You add the two together, you have $970 in cash flow. Now the kids can travel with you. Now the children can play sports. Now you have extra money to invest. The home-based business deduction allow you now to go get rich. You see, my mentor always says, it's not the government that's going to make you wealthy. It's not this business that's going to make you wealthy. It's not a second job that's going to make you wealthy. Your own money makes you wealthy. So this couple was actually able to get their own money. And now today they're cash flow millionaires because of the movement and because of the strategy. That's what Extra Digit is all about. Not sales and hype, but real strategy and real numbers. But it gets better. I don't want you guys to think that this program is only good for individuals that have salaries and, middle to upper class. We have an individual in our organization who had an hourly wage of $11 per hour. Now let's talk about the guy who's working hard, maybe a student, may not be making a whole bunch of money, but what will not having a home-based business cost him? So his income was roughly $22,000 per year at $11 an hour. Now in this case, because he's not making a whole lot of money, the government will actually give you a standard deduction of $6,000. And you get another exemption of $39,000. So not making a lot of money in this particular situation actually gave this gentleman a couple of write-offs. So his taxable income was really $12,100 in taxable income because he got the standard deduction and he got the exemption. He only makes $11 per hour. Now, because of this, you still have to pay your state tax and your federal tax, But because he makes $11 an hour, he does not pay as much. But let's see if it hurts still. In the state of Georgia, for example, state tax is roughly 6%. So we're going to use 6% as the example. That's about $726 that he still has to pay in taxes out of his $11 per hour wage. Now, the federal government wants 15%. So that's $1,800 roughly. It really totals $1,815. So his tax bill is $2,541. That's a lot of money for a gentleman on an hourly wage who only makes $11 an hour. Why? Because he doesn't get very many write-offs because he doesn't have a home-based business. He gets the standard deduction and the exemption and nothing more. So this same gentleman, true story, gets a home-based business. Let's look at how having a home-based business affects an average hardworking young man making $11 per hour. His hourly wage does not change, $11 per hour. That means his income does not change, $22,000 per year. He'll get the same standard deduction from the government, $6,000, and he'll get the same exemption, $3,900, for only making $11 per hour, $22,000 per year. But now he uses our strategy and gets involved with this home-based business model. The home-based business, let's say $10,000 in tax write-offs, because now his square footage, his car, all right, his gas mileage, his cell phone bill, all the things that were causing him to struggle now become write-offs, meals and entertainment. Now his taxable income is lowered drastically to $2,100 because he was able to subtract the standard deduction, the exemption, and the home-based business write-off. Now the state of Georgia still wants 6%. So we have $126, for example, in the state of Georgia. The government still wants 10%. Now, here's the difference. Because he's not making as much money, he doesn't pay 33% like a high-end salary worker. This gentleman here only pays 10% because he pays the lower end of the federal tax because he's only making $11 per hour. So he pays $210 in federal taxes. So his total tax is $336, state and federal. This gentleman put $2,205 in his pocket because he has a home-based business. Whereas before he was taxed $2,541. So the difference between $336 and $2,541 he put in his pocket. $2,205 because he used this home-based business model. And because it's a true story, I'll give you a little caveat. He was able to take the extra money, go buy him a new car, and now he has a much better job because he has better wheels. So I could stand here another 5 hours and tell you 1,000 success stories, but I don't have that kind of time. But here's what I'll do. I want to give you a 3-minute video of people from all over the country and let them tell you in their own words how this strategy, this software, and this system has changed their financial situation. I'll be back in 24 to 48 hours to tell you how you can become part of the extra digit movement. Or you can go ahead and contact the person who gave you their website and inquire about the next live extra digit webinar or the next conference call. Because you have to remember, we're approaching our 4th or 5th day, and every day that you don't have a home-based business is costing you about $20. So enjoy this video, listen to these individuals talk to you about their strategy, the software, and the system, and I'll see you guys in 24 to 48 hours. Remember, making money talks, yes, but creating wealth whispers. Enjoy the video.
So the concept is very simple. We've got to earn enough cash flow during our working years to support our lifestyle. But simultaneously, while we're doing that, we've got to invest enough money So when we stop working, our assets will generate enough income to continue in that same lifestyle. Everybody's got to get that done, don't they? Okay, you can't work your way to financial success. You got to have a strategy. Does that make sense for everybody? That we have 3 smart strategies to help people improve their life. The first one, minimize your taxes. That's
lower my taxes.
I went ahead and minimized my taxes by taking advantage of the tax laws that business owners have access to.
Minimizing our taxes.
My son actually introduced me to this. He was able to reduce his taxes by $10,000, so that got my attention.
And you don't need a lot of money in business to get wealthy.
And now my cash flow is over $1 million.
You just need a system for you to get your own money.
The cash flow management system.
The strategies.
Cash flow.
Cash flow strategy.
Cash flow management.
Just cash flowing.
Cash flow.
By following these financial principles and strategies. When I first changed my W-4, I got $1,200 back in my paycheck per month.
You see athletes all the time, they make a lot of money, but if they don't use a strategy, they're not going to have financial success, are they?
The cash flow management tool is a must.
We have a strategy, we have steps, and once you really get good at it, then you're just doing that system over and over and over and over. So after a while, you master that craft, don't you?
And hopefully it will help over thousands of people become financially successful.
Here's the problem. When debts are high, when taxes are high, and income is limited, it's difficult to do, isn't it? So we help you solve that problem. How?
Reduce my debt.
Become debt-free.
In my first year, I paid off my first vehicle $25,000 in 1 year.
Debt free.
Eliminated over $50,000 worth of debt.
If you want to be wealthy, everybody can be wealthy. But if you want to be wealthy, you got to go get your money from the people who've been stopping you from being wealthy.
And then my second year, I was able to pay off another vehicle that was $26,000 in my second year of business.
And I've been able to eliminate debt.
After adjusting my taxes, I have increased cash flow $325, and now I have eliminated 1 debt. Praise God.
That's not a lack of work. That's taxes and debt.
I went from owing $250,000 of debt.
And in my third year, I was able to eliminate all my credit card debt, all my loans, and now I'm completely debt-free.
Right now, we have been debt-free for 20 months, including mortgage.
Everybody good?